What is up, T.O.Gs? So I got something important to talk about today, and you know, I could beat around the bush and I could dance around the topic, but we're just gonna attack it. We're gonna go right at this topic today.
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey.
Because it's something that I feel very strongly about, and it's actually piggybacking on a video I made not too long ago about bullying. And this is along the same vein, but it's something that it seems like it's just, and this is a word that I used before, it's so freaking pervasive, and that's shaming. You know, shaming comes in all kinds of different forms. It seems more so every day. We see this in the media, on TV, we see it, hear it on the radio. On YouTube, for sure. People shaming people for it doesn't matter what, looks, weight, race, gender, sexual orientation, all of these things. First off, I want to say, you know what, just f those people. I'm sorry. You know, I wish that there was a more diplomatic way to say that, but you know what, f them. And I don't like to use that word, and obviously it's gonna get bleeped out because we don't use that kind of language on this channel. But that's it. That's the bottom line. So, you know, I get it all the time on my channel, and, you know, did I ask for it a little bit? No, no one asks for it, but, you know, I would share my weight when I'm riding or test riding motorcycles, and I can't tell you how many times I've had to delete a comment because someone just wants to fat shame. And, you know what? For me, as a person, I just delete it, and I don't care. The people who make these kinds of comments, they obviously have issues of their own. You know, when they belittle others, or they make other people feel small, it's their way of trying to make themselves bigger. And you know, a lot of the times there's a lot of deeper issues. A lot of these people were shamed themselves, and so, you know, that's where that started. A lot of the bullies were the bullied, and whether it's, you know, they're bullied at home and so they go to school and they bully other kids, there's a lot more going on. And so, you know, even though I say to hell with those people, you know, at the same time I do, and this is just because I'm an empathetic person, you know, I feel sympathy for those people because, you know, there's something deeper going on there. Are there people who are just assholes? Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna have those people.
I knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
But at the same time, a lot of those people just have issues of their own. So, let's stop talking about those people. Let's talk about the victims of shaming. A lot of the times, the things that people get shamed for are things that they can't even help. And this is like the most cruel thing I think that we can do to each other as human beings. And it just drives me up the wall when I see on social media people getting bullied. I think for the most part, because we have surrounded ourselves with people who we share things in common with, that it happens less. But if you're a younger person, you'll still see that a lot, I think, because, you know, you may not be friends with the bully, but you're friends with someone who is, and so they can see a lot of the times the comments that you make or your pictures. And so, yeah, you know, the number one thing I would say for those people who are being attacked is ignore them. Just ignore them. On social media, it's a little bit easier because you can just delete the comments. I always report bullying in any form, or shaming in any form. I don't care whether it bothers me or not. These social media sites need to know that it's happening, so I always report it, and then I delete it. Obviously, that is imprinted on my mind because I've read it, though. But you've got to forget about it. You got to have a short memory. And it's really hard, like I said, if it's something that you've been bullied about your whole life, right? Because you know, even when you delete it, you're gonna get more. And like I said, it doesn't matter how many times I delete a comment fat shaming, there's bound to be another one. So ignore it is probably my biggest piece of advice, is just to ignore it. The other one is And this is what I like to do. And I've actually ended up having some really good conversations with people who, when I'm shamed, and again, sometimes it's playful, and I know a lot of the times, and probably most of the times it's not. But in person, I know for sure when someone has shamed me for something, is to engage. Change the subject, because if you keep it on the subject of what they're saying, you just give them power, and you're liable to end up getting shamed some more. So engage is another one of my tips. It's not always easy, but I've actually had some great conversations with people. Sometimes we end up still disagreeing, sometimes they still end up having a really bad attitude, but for me, I know, at least for myself, it helps me mentally when I've engaged a person, and sometimes, a lot of the times that's online, but I've done it in person too. And a lot of times it makes it feel like a win, because they'll walk away, you know. And let's make an example, okay? So, you know, I've been shamed for the motorcycle that I ride, okay? And that, you know, you can't make everybody happy. But I used to ride a Harley Sportster, an 883, and you know, this is another one of the things we've talked about on the channel before, where someone was like, "Isn't that a girl's bike?" And I'd be like, "Let's go look at my bike. Let's go look at it." And they see it, and they're like, "Oh, that's a cool bike." And you know, obviously, I was proud of my bike, so yeah, there was that. But at the same time, you know, they walked away, and they're like, okay, so not only did I change their impression of my bike, that person isn't going to go away thinking, oh, you know, Sportsters are girls' bikes. And by the way, that was a fortunate situation, but a lot of the times people will say that, and they know everything about a Sportster, and they still say it's a girl's bike. But in my humble opinion, and I've said this before on the channel, every bike is a girl's bike, because guess what? Girls can ride any bike that guys can ride. So, yeah, if you're a guy that feels that way about any bike, don't be ignorant, okay? You've just been informed. So what is it? I want your feedback on this one for sure. What is it that you have done in your life about shaming? You haven't been shamed, but you've intervened on someone who's been shamed? Like you've been a mediator or somebody who has stood up for someone? Don't give power to the bullies. And like I said before, ignore them. So that's all I got to say. Like I said, just make sure you share your experience, share your tips on how to handle shaming. That would be greatly appreciated. And that's all I've got for you today. So guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Guys, if you're out there riding, be safe. And if you're not riding, get riding. I'm that one guy, and I am out.